This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, it's Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. It's now 6:30 p.m. Go ahead and call the fiscal court meeting to order. Jen, if I can have you call roll.
Magistrate Humphrey,
Present.
Magistrate Coldiron,
Present.
Magistrate Riley,
Present.
Judge Chuck Dills.
Present. First thing we have is approval of the regular meeting minutes of June 7th, 2022.
Having read the regular meeting minutes of June 7th, 2022, I make a motion we approve as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Coldiron, a second by Magistrate Humphrey. All in favor by saying aye.
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 All in favor, motion carries. Moving down to fiscal matters A, approval of the claims of the general fund, road fund, jail fund, along with all transfers presented dated June 21st, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims on the general fund, the road fund, and jail fund, along with all the transfers presented dated June 21st of 2022.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye.
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 All in favor, motion carries. I appreciate you all hanging in with us on the claims coming in up until today's mail because the post office was closed yesterday. And with it being the end of June, we were trying to save from having a special meeting at the end of the month to finish up any claims for the end of the fiscal year. Moving down to B, motion to appoint Marvin Webster for road department laborer, retroactive June 20th, 2022. Marvin had worked for Secret's Garage, currently has his CDLs, so we won't have to send him through training to get his CDL. So he already has his CDLs. Matter of fact, he has his Class A's in force.
I'll make a motion to appoint Marvin Webster for the road department laborer, retroactive to June 20th, 2022.
I second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Coldiron. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Appears all in favor, motion carries. Moving down to C, we'll be presenting for a second reading and approval of ordinance number 0002-2022-0256, an ordinance relating to the 2022-2023 fiscal court budget, along with the notice to be published in the local paper showing adoption if approved.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 0002-2022-0256, an ordinance relating to the 2022-23 fiscal court budget, along with the notice to be published in the local paper showing adoption.
You're on mute, Jacqueline.
I will second. Thank you, Raj.
Okay.
Thank you,
I saw
Lord.
your hand, Jessica. So I have a motion made by Magistrate Coldiron, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor, by show of hands and aye.
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 It appears all in favor, motion carries. Thank you for all your work on the budget. Got that passed. So moving down to D, present for a motion and approval of the salaries for the employees of the Grant County Fiscal Court, along with the Sheriff's Office and the Grant County Detention Center.
I'll make a motion to approve the salaries for the employees of the Grant County Fiscal Court, along with the Sheriff's Office and the Grant County Detention Center as presented.
I second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, second by Magistrate Coldiron. All in favor by saying aye.
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 On that,
All in
Judge,
favor?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Shauna.
I just wanted to, that had been sent to the Department of DLG, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and everything seemed in order on it? There was nothing out of order?
No, it's part of the budget.
Okay, I mean, they usually review it once and make sure everything's in balance, and I just wanted to
Yes.
verify.
And no feedback. So basically, Judge, there was no feedback or
No.
questions or observations.
No, they
Shared.
sent it all back as a whole, approving it.
Okay,
That's good.
Yep.
yes, we like to hear those things.
Yeah, actually, there was no corrections. Usually there's something that minor that needs to be fixed, and there wasn't any changes need to be made. So
Well, great.
that's good. Okay. Appears all in favor, motion passes. Moving down to E. This is for review only, no action needed, that we reviewed the county administrative code. I know everyone's had a chance to look at it. I've looked at it. There's nothing I see that we need to approve at this time or change. And according to the statute, at any time we see that we need to make a change to the administrative code, we can bring it back before the court. So if there's any time that you all see that something needs to be revised before we look at this again next June, just let me know. Moving down to item 5. Oh, somebody's moving down to 5, old business. We don't have anything. Moving down to 6, new business. I have Jerry Keith with us with the Kentucky Department of Transportation. He's going to present the 2022-2023 Rural Secondary Road Resurfacing Program for Grant County, Kentucky. Jerry, the floor is yours.
All right, everyone can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. No, guys, we've done this before, never on Zoom. So the paperwork was all submitted, and I assume you have it in front of you. But we'll go through what we have in store this year. It's very simple on our part, but we'll start. So Frankfurt allocated us an overall allotment of $952,588 this year. The maintenance of traffic, which comes out of that balance, $380,600. We had an undistributed free balance, which is money that we didn't use out of our program last year that stays with the cabinet, of $134,489. The judge executive expenses this year, I believe, did increase to $38.75. And I vote Chuck takes us to lunch. All right. The flex funds this year. Now, Judge, I don't remember. I know we talked about these a little while ago, and I don't know. This is the latest email that was sent to me, and I couldn't find the prior one. So I'm not sure if these went down or whatever, but the final email I received said the flex funds are $142,888.
Yeah, they're actually a little bit of an increase, not a whole lot, but it is an increase from last fiscal year.
Okay.
And don't hold me
was,
to it. I believe it's around 134,000
I believe it.
or so. Isn't that correct, Sean?
Yeah, I know from when we discussed it on the phone, get your budget ready, I gave you a number, but I can't remember what that number was, but that was an old email. So anyway, that's what this year is 142,888. So when we digest
I believe that was close. I believe that's close that what we budgeted in to the budget.
Okay, good. I didn't want to see it go down, but it's what it is. So without the flex funds, that leaves me or the cabinet will say $559,714 to do our work. So what we plan to do, and this has already been decided, but the Kentucky 36 from Jonesville to Four Corners, one of the worst routes we've ever had. I know it's the worst one I've had since in my 11, 12 years. Reasons for that, we dealt with the COVID. We had planned to do it before COVID, but we didn't want to do it. Judge and I were in agreement because that was a bypass route. We didn't want to see it paved and, just get torn apart through that process. So this thing's been put off for quite some time. And of course, we're out there now. And what we decided to do is a cabinet. I wanted to mill the route. My Frankfurt liaison did not. He instructed that we would come in and put a scratch course up to an inch on that road to try to get it leveled as best we can. And then he wanted to put an additional inch on top of that. So basically, we're going to double our surface thickness the entire length of that job. So in order to get that done, I have to expend some of this year's 22-23 RS funds to that project here after July 1st. So I'm estimating it's going to cost an extra $400,000 than we originally anticipated to spend, but we are going to spend that. So we're putting another almost $500,000 on that route, trying to make it as best we can. So, and that's an estimate. We should be close, guys. But with that, we'll have about $160,000 left. Then we're going to go down to item number 7, Kiefer Road, and that's a mislabel on my part. It's not a miscellaneous base failure repair. It will be a traditional resurfacing project. But anyway, we think we can get about 1.6 miles of that from a far end working back to 25 of Kiefer with whatever we have left. Maybe a little bit more if I spend less on 36, but we'll just have to see how that works out. And then it is always, if you should decide to let the cabinet keep the flex funds, we add that back into the balance. And in doing so, that would get me about another 1.4 miles of Kiefer Road. My supers tell me that's the one most in need of an RS route this year. So that's basically what we have planned. And as you can see at the bottom, I always kind of put in where we look ahead. Now, that's not to say we're going to do this next year, because everything changes. If something gets distressed, we have to move to another route because it just fell apart for some reason. We try to go where the need is, but we're looking at Duncan Drive, which was the old service road there off Crittenden Mountain Zion Road, heading north toward Crittenden. It dead ends back there to Pet Cemetery, and try to finish Kiefer Road, get all that done in, a couple year cycle.
Okay.
So that's really all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions. No concerns tonight, just questions.
Jacqueline, go ahead.
Jerry, thanks. As always, I have one specific question, just from an education standpoint. Why would they choose not to mill Highway 36 Jonesville area? Like, what's the rationale of why they want to build it up to the extent it is?
Jacqueline, that's a good question. My presentation to our liaison when he came down, I told him, I said, Wheeler, I want to mill 2 inches off this road. I want to get below all these bad spots best we can. I said, I'm going to put at least another inch back, maybe an inch and a half. And he said, okay. He said, but I want you to get me some cores. I want to know how deep this pavement structure is. So I had our department from Frankfurt Materials come up over the 5 to 6 mile stretch, and I pulled 6 cores out of there. He was worried the pavement was going to be thin. I said, Wheeler, I don't think this thing's ever been milled in its life. It's got to be thick. And it was 13, 16 places were deeper, okay, of asphalt. But when he came out and rode it with me, he just said, no, we're not going to mill it. Here's what I want to do. He was afraid in the milling that he'd be opening up something worse than we already had in terms of stability, which,
well, and it's already in
but
places.
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right, but it's already in other places falling off, right?
Yeah,
in some places.
The core seemed pretty solid that I took. I mean, if I did mill 2 inches off that, we got down to something that was a bad strip-based material. His fear was we'd have to come back in and spend maybe more than the $400,000 we're putting in it to put base material back in of a certain thickness. He was just afraid of what he would find if we milled it. I wasn't as concerned, but he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then also pertaining to that project, is it going to be prioritized to go sooner versus later? Come July 1st, like, has it been bid out yet?
The 36 project?
Yes.
Oh, we've done all the base failures. We've done all the scratch course. It's under final surfacing right now. So it should be done, I would say, within another week.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking we were talking about the same thing, which I thought significant progress had been made. But okay, so to your point, it has been underway as a result of it kind of being 2 years in the rears because of COVID. So this mechanism tonight is a makeup, is a administrative exercise, if you will.
Well, yes, but this project has been let and awarded with last year's flex fund money. It was, or not flex fund money, but last year's RS money. So I forget what the project came in, but it came in, almost $1 million. But
Right.
considering the shape it was in and adding another inch of thickness to the surface, I had to take this year's RS money, or a big part of it, to complement or supplement that project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. At least my 8 years in this role, I have not seen anything as bad as that had become, and especially it being a through road, a connector road, for various parts of our community and Owen County and different ways too. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So is everyone agreeable? We'll just hold the flex funds for county road work?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But can I clarify something real quick, Chuck?
Yes.
Understand this? Are they seeing, like on item number 8, where it does have the flex funds amount of 142,888, are they saying that they'll need that to help complete Kiefer Road? Is that what they're saying?
Well,
I
that wouldn't quite complete it, but what I'm saying is if the cabinet did keep the flex funds or the court did not want them, that is where I would spend them, and it wouldn't get it all done, but it would get, the biggest part of it done.
Because currently it's only a section, Shauna.
Okay. Even with that, it still's not the complete road.
correct.
Right. With if you guys have, decide to keep flex funds and I spend what I have left in my pot of money, if you will, I think it's on there. I forget how far it is. I think 1.6 miles maybe, or something close. And I think Kiefer is about a 3-mile route. So it doesn't quite, gets a little more than half.
Okay.
So everyone's still agreeable that we'll hold the flex funds?
I agree. I would like to.
Yeah, appears everyone's agreed that we'll hold the flex funds to be used on the county road. Jerry, thanks a lot for joining us tonight and presenting that, and great presentation.
All right, Judge. No, thank you. And as always, just, get your meeting minutes to me as soon as you can, the final ones. That's what I have to submit to Frankfurt so you get your money, and we'll push it through again.
Or we need to make a motion on this? Yeah.
Yes.
Let me
Yeah, it
ask
has
for
to
a
be
motion.
I make a motion for fiscal year 22-23 upcoming that Grant County retain the flex funding portion as presented this evening.
I second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, a second by Magistrate Codar. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor, motion carries. Thanks, Jerry, and we'll get those minutes to you. Moving down to B, I just want to remind everyone, after this meeting, we'll need to hold a public properties meeting to approve the minutes from the last meeting and approve the payment for the annual filing fee for the corporation. Moving down to 7, judge's report. The only thing I have to report on is that the Wrigglers is out now in the Mountain Zion area doing paving. They're moving right along. They're done with all the projects off of Hume Road and now in the Mountain Zion area. So they're moving right along. The road department's continuing to cut right-of-ways, get those clear, and any patchworks need to be done. Moving down to B, magistrate's report. Anything to report on, Roger?
No, just the usual. Signs gone and complaints on properties, and working on them as we go.
Okay. Shauna, anything to report on tonight?
No, nothing unusual, just the regular work that's being done, and a kudos to the road department. I know this heat, is almost intolerable, but continued thanks for their efforts.
Jacqueline?
Continued progress, sir. No specific updates to report.
Okay. With that being said, we'll move down to item 8, citizens address. It looks like David's the only one on. David, have anything to say? If not, need to ask for a motion to adjourn from this meeting and everyone stay on for the next public
So-
corporation.
Make a motion to adjourn from this fiscal court meeting.
Second,
Have a motion made by Magistrate Riley, a second by Magistrate Codarn. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor and we're adjourned. You have in your packet a agenda for Public Properties Corporation. It is now 6:51. We'll go ahead and call that meeting to order. Jen, I won't need you to do all or roll call. It appears everyone's present from our fiscal court meeting. First thing I have on the agenda is item A. You have before you the minutes from our February 1st, 2022 meeting. I just need a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of February 1, 2022 of the Public Properties Corporation.
I will second.
I have a motion made by Magistrate Humphrey, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor, motion carries. Item B, approval of payment of the annual filing fee for the corporation.
make a motion to approve the annual filing fee for the corporation as presented.
I will second.
Have a motion made by Magistrate Codarn, a second by Magistrate Riley. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
It appears all in favor, motion carries. Our last item on the agenda is adjournment. I need a motion to adjourn from the public corporations meeting.
So move.
I second.
That motion made by Magistrate Riley, second by Magistrate Codarn. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Appears all in favor. We're now adjourned. I thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, you all have a good night.